So this game of three called Monty is serious, family. Them shuffling these identities around is extremely deceptive and dangerous, family. This is something that we have to watch out for. There was no such thing as a Hispanic when the Pilgrims got here, or before the Pilgrims got here, like she said. There was no such thing as a Hispanic. Hispanic is a relatively new term that came about for political reasons. And we're going to get into another article to break that down in a minute. But I just want y'all to understand this. She said Hispanics were here before the Pilgrims. Again, I've been telling y'all, this is them trying to claim some type of foundational status in the U.S. This is them trying to make themselves comparable to us. Let me read some more. The oldest non-Native American city in the U.S. is St. Augustine, founded by the Spanish in 1565. The oldest non-Native American city in the U.S. is St. Augustine, founded by the Spanish in 1565. Listen, if you Puerto Rican, if you Mexican, if you Dominican, Cuban, Guatemalan, Argentinian, Colombian, Nicaraguan, you are not Spanish. They are trying to claim Spain as their motherland when it's convenient now. In this article here, because again, this is her trying to position this. They are paella, like she said, because like I said, paella is Spanish rice mixed with all different types of seafood. And so they trying to bring all of these different Spanish speaking groups together under one umbrella and make it one group, but they're not one group. Like I said earlier, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, these people are not one group. They all have their own unique culture. They just were all colonized by one group, which is the Spanish. Spain is the one that colonized and enslaved their ancestors. And so this is why we say they not like us, because them calling themselves Spanish is them identifying with their enslavers, them identifying with their colonizers. We different. Just because we speak English, because we were dominated and colonized by the English, we don't run around calling ourselves Englishmen. We don't run around calling ourselves Englishmen because we were forced to speak the language of the people who enslaved our ancestors. But that's exactly what they're doing. So this is part of them with the three-card Monty thing. In this instance, it's convenient for them to claim Spanish, which is European, in order for them to try to say that they were here as long as they're trying to claim that they were here. But again, there were no such thing as Hispanics at that time. And those Spanish people that she's talking about, those were Europeans. Those are white Europeans. And they don't claim none of these people. This lady that's writing this article, and the people that she's advocating for are not claimed by people from Spain. They can't go to Spain. Let me read a little bit more. She said the oldest non-Native American city in the U.S. is St. Augustine, founded by the Spanish in 1565. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all, by the way. And when those Spanish people came over here before 1565, by the way, y'all see the flag in the background. In 1526 is when the first Spanish came over here, and they brought black people with them. They had black Moors that came with them. When they got down there by North Carolina, was it North Carolina, South Carolina? North Carolina, Virginia area. And those Moors kicked their ass and sent their ass back out on the ocean. And then they came in and integrated with the other native black people that were already here. And that became the beginning of a new ethnic group, which we now refer to as foundational Black Americans. 1526. But she's trying to claim those Spanish people that was coming here in the 1500s as her ancestors somehow, because she was enslaved by them. So the oldest capital city in the United States is Santa Fe, New Mexico, settled by the Spanish in 1606. The land that makes up all parts of Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming was handed over to the United States in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, making the Mexicans in those lands U.S. citizens overnight. What she's forgetting to mention was that they got their ass kicked in the war and they sold off those territories to the United States. Okay? That's what she's failing to mention. In that treaty. That's why it was a treaty. This is a deal that you made. So she's trying to say we was already here and all of that. She's trying to claim we was already here. And these are different people that she's referring to, by the way. Right? Because she's saying, talking about the Spanish that came over here in 1565, the Spanish colonizers that came over here in 1565, she's claiming them, right? But she's also claiming the Mexicans who were already in the places that are now known as Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming, all of these places. The indigenous Mexicans, people that are known now as Mexicans, because there was no such thing as a Mexican back then, but the people that are now known as Mexicans were indigenous to these different parts of what is now the United States of America. She's trying to claim them and claim the colonizers that came over here and terrorized these people. So she's claiming to be the victim and the victor. This is that identity shuffle. This is that identity shuffle, family.